Weird sciencey facts that boggle my mind. Well, getting your hide tanned was something you tried to avoid as a kid. Some adults are really into that sort of thing. And who can blame them? It's hard to beat a good leather pair of boots. Leather seats are easier to clean, and the pinnacle of cool was James Dean's leather jacket. I myself am a big fan of the cowboy boots. I just got these Lucchese's here a few weeks ago. They're my first ranch hand leather boots. They're real nice, but I didn't know what that meant till after I bought them. I'm assuming they went with ranch hand because calling them horsehide would probably hurt sales in the US. I certainly had some feels about it after finding that out. But that's part of a good tan hide. It comes at more of a price than what you just pay at the register. Part of that price is an animal's life. And then raising livestock isn't great for the environment. And the tanning and dyeing of leather is a pretty toxic process as well. But if you think your faux leather is better, think again, because your pretend leather Prince pants are made of plastic. And I think we're all aware of plastic's environmental problems. But it's not just leather and its cheap imitation. By 2050, the entire fashions and textile industry will be the third biggest polluter on the planet. In addition to already being one of the biggest trash producers, the fashion and textile industry today emits more CO2 than aviation and shipping combined. And leather is a big part of that problem, so there's a lot of money going in to find a solution. And a lot of that money is being spent on making mushrooms into the material, which sort of makes sense. Mushrooms are actually closer related to meat than plants. But in the fight for a better boot leather, it turns out bacteria might be best. The simple single-cell solution has been staring us in the face forever. Quite literally. See, bacteria can produce cellulose, which is a strong organic polymer. And unlike mushrooms, which are more genetically complex, the simple single-celled organisms of bacteria are more simple to genetically engineer. And a company in Mexico did just that. They genetically engineered bacteria to eat food and agriculture waste and grow into a material that is better than leather. How much better than leather? Well, I'm glad you asked. It turns out it doesn't require any additional infrastructure. You just need a facility to house vats of water that you can put the bacteria in and feed them food waste. 20 days later, you've got a sheet of microbial leather, and it just keeps getting better because you can send those sheets off to existing leather processing facilities, and they can get tanned in almost the same way as real leather, except with a lot less toxic chemicals. But then I bet you're dying to know if they can dye that leather the color that best fits your fit. Well, they could, but they won't, and I'll tell you why you don't need the dye to look fly. It turns out they just genetically engineer the color right into your leather gear. So not only does microbial leather make it so you don't have to worry about the animal rights in your fashion fight, or its problems pertaining to pesky patches of plastic in the Pacific, but it could also be a fix for food waste as well. And the fact that skipping the Lysol will let Lilliputian life be the Leviathan that alleviates us from larger landfills and unlivable landscapes while letting us look lit in luxurious leather, well, that is pretty mind-boggling.